If you're new to vintage jewellery collecting or want to build a huge collection like I have, this video is for you, because today I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks on how you too can start building a huge collection in the year 2025. Not only buying vintage jewellery but also reselling, so keep on watching this video for more great tips. Would you believe I started collecting vintage jewellery with just a few brooches, and now I have a collection worth thousands, and you can too. And here is a beautiful example of what I just found at the op shop yesterday, and I was so overjoyed because this is absolutely a beautiful piece or set that I was so excited for. So just keep on watching, because like, it's beautiful. It is so beautiful. Look at this, just to get some enthusiasm there going on you. This is a beautiful jewel crest brooch from designer Donald Simpson, and it is an absolutely beautiful piece, and I turned it over hoping it was, and it certainly was, and it is stamped jewel crest. So I was so excited to find that one. Absolutely beautiful. And then not only that, I just kept on looking and I found a gorgeous necklace. How beautiful is that? And it's a matching set. Absolutely beautiful, real stunner. Absolutely love it. I'll show you a photo on the necklace display shortly. But yes, we have with us a beautiful jewel crest and brooch set, and that's how exciting. Once you learn how to identify jewellery, and yeah, you just like, you get the vintage bug just like I do. It's just absolutely exciting journey to take. And as you can see, I absolutely love wearing my brooches and I wear them all the time. Okay, so that's just to get you enthused there, and while I'm at it, I'll show you this other brooch that I put aside. I'm not sure who the designer on this one was. It does have, it is unsigned, and it does have a jewel crest look, but I'm not sure if entirely if it is. And it's really important that you learn the backings even of brooches and vintage jewellery so you can identify, but we'll do that in another video as well. So some beautifuls just there to just get you excited so you can start looking for your own beautifuls as well. Okay, so let's get started on the next bit of the tutorial. Also, if you haven't done so already, please jump back a video or 2 or 3 and see how I actually got started just with a few brooches. And yeah, it is quite easy. Vintage jewellery collecting is growing very much so, especially vintage brooches, and they are growing in a big way. With the 2025 fashion trends, they are really growing in individuality with the collecting of vintage brooches, and they come in so many styles and so many beautiful ways that people or collectors are snapping these beautiful, gorgeous pieces up really fast. So if you want to get yourself on the bandwagon, keep on watching this video, because I can assure you, you don't want to miss out. And once you've got the vintage bug, you just want to keep on going. You don't need to get a lot of tools, but the right tools will get you on the right path to get your vintage jewellery collecting happening in the right way. So I'm going to show you the tools right now in my order of preference, and I'm also going to show you what they do, or talk about what they do as well, and you'll be on the right path in no time. So we're going to start with this loop, and this is not my best loop. If you're anything like me, you're going to need quite a few of these loops. I have about 5 of these around the house, and I don't know where they all are. So I'm going to show you a loop. It is not my best one. I think I did take mine away when I went away to for a medical trip last week, but yeah, I think it's still in my handbag, but I'm too lazy to go up there. Anyway, vintage brooches and vintage jewellery identification, you definitely need a loop, and the best one to get is a 10 times jewellery loop. And having a jewellery loop will help you to identify hallmarks, maker's marks, whether it's got sterling or 9 carat or 14 carat or 24 carat and so forth on there, even platinum. I'm still waiting to get one of platinum piece, but yeah, more about how to identify those pieces later. And if you can get a loop that has a triplet lens, that'll help you identify things much better as well. So a jewellery loop is key, but a better one than this one. And I'll leave a link below of my preference of which one I recommend, and you may be able to do a purchase if you want to on a few things that I'm going to highlight today. Just so you know, I do make a very small commission on anything I'm advertising, so just be aware, and it is all through Amazon as well, not through me as an individual personally. Now, I did touch on the ultrasonic cleaner last week, and as if you did see my video last week, you'll know I'm not the biggest fan of it. I do prefer other methods, which you'll have to jump back to the other video to watch that video to see the do's and don'ts looking after your vintage jewellery. So the ultrasonic cleaner can be very, very handy, but for me it's just sitting on the shelf because, as I said, I'm not a fan, but some people do love it and use it all the time. And the benefits are it helps get rid of the dirt or grime that's in there, because the machine is actually vibrating and it'll help loosen the particles. And as I said, you have to be very, very careful on what items you do put in there, and don't put ones that aren't glued in. But jump back to the video to watch that video, see what not to do. I've made that mistake too many times and I've learnt my lesson now, which is why I don't like using it personally. But so, as I said, some people do love it, so if that's you and you do want one, well, that is one of the tools that you might want to get as well. And it works by just putting a small amount of water, and I do recommend, if you are to use it, just to put it on a shorter, lower setting, just so you can keep an eye on it. And whatever you do, don't leave your item in there for a day or two. Tragedy will happen. So that's the ultrasonic cleaner. And then we have the good old silver polishing cloth, which I demonstrated in that same video last week. And this is excellent if you love the therapy too. I love the therapy of polishing silver jewellery, particularly, nothing else. And seeing it come up to shine. Some people like the patina of it being all tarnished, but I personally love the shine. It depends really, but that's a definite must. This one is quite well used. They do go very, very, very long way as well, and get so much use out of the whole packet. It will last you for what, a couple of years like mine has, because they come in a big piece like that, and I just cut mine all up in smaller pieces, and that's a good size as well. And if you do have a extra hard tarnished piece that you are struggling with, this is a good one. It's Goddard's, and that's one I've had for a couple of years, and I think I'm up to here. I've still got all that left. So it goes a long, long way just for stubborn removal, hand in hand with this. So just a tiny dab or two and put it on your item and then give it a polish, and it does help. It goes a long way. So that restores shine and stops oxidation from happening. But don't over polish, because especially in particular areas you might want it highlighted with the patina. So don't get too carried away. And if I had my little brooch or pendant that I had last week, I could show you what that would be like. Maybe I'll show you a picture of not of an over tarnishing. We'll just see how we go. And then we have the trusty old blue torch or UV torch, and that helps identify uranium. And I'm going to show you a demonstration of a lovely brooch that I just have right here. And preferably you want to have this in a darker room, and so you can actually see it better. But I'm thinking it's got such beautiful uranium in here, I believe it's going to light up beautifully. So we'll do that one together. So this is your UV light, and once again available on Amazon, and they are cheap. And see how that lights up, isn't that gorgeous? I love it. So that's how you can tell. Just a really, because like if you just got that, you wouldn't know that was actually uranium really, unless you're already on the know about vintage brooches and what uranium could possibly look like. So that's it, and we'll try to get that right, the right angle. Helps if you turn it on. There we go, that's why it's not working. Okay, see that beautiful, bright, brilliant, illuminating green. Absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. So that's it. Just needs 3 AA batteries. 3 AAA? No, 3 AAA. 3 AAA batteries. So that's that one. And it actually also helps identify diamonds, the true diamonds, and also Bakelite. So it's a great tool to have. Be sure to get one. And then we have the good old mandrel, the ring mandrel sizer, and you have this in US, UK and Canadian, and for us Aussies we go by the letters. So just for example, if you wanted to see, I'll just grab one of my rings off here. We want to see what size ring we have here. Getting that ring off. And we put it on the mandrel, and so that shows that my ring size is a O, no, it's a P. It's a P on this case, and because our fingers are different sizes, obviously you want to I love my rings, I love wearing my rings even though they're a little bit too big for me. Talking about ring sizes also, if you have a misshapen ring, this mandrel does great work in reshaping it up. I've done that quite a few times and saved quite a crushed ring actually. So that's a really important one to have as well. Putting my ring back on, mandrel, ring mandrel. And then we have the good old Presidium, and I was lucky enough for my kids to buy this for one of our anniversaries quite a few years ago because I really wanted it. They are around about 450 to 500 AU dollars, but I can guarantee they are so worth the investment, and they help you not only identify diamonds but stone by the conductivity needle, and will go up. I'm not sure if you're going to get that on camera, but I'm going to show you if I can. Maybe not now, but maybe later. My tiny ring goes up, but as if I remember as well, because I have a little bit of a short memory lately. Okay, so that's a Presidium, and a fantastic tool. And when you, I'll just turn that on. I wonder if I should try to demonstrate that now. So what we've got to do is wait for the light to go red, and when you first do, go get your Presidium as well, and sometimes every now and then you need to keep the Presidium in balance, so we are always testing the right items. And it does test for a few different things, and it'll even tell you whether your item is glass, jade, topaz, ruby, sapphire, and other things, including a diamond, which is way up that end where it goes black, and it'll, yeah, you'll know when you've got a diamond. So that's on now, and since I've got it on, I might as well just show you now. So I've got a ring here, and it's got the tiniest of diamonds, and I'm going to, unfortunately I can't actually get it on video at the same time. That's when you've hit metal, so don't do that. So that's just gone up to diamond. It's not beeping now, that's only when you touch metal that it will beep like that. And that's gone up to diamond. It just shows its indication that you've definitely got a diamond, so that's good. But like I said, it tests other stones and that as well. Anywho, great tool to have, fantastic. Great investment for the serious collector, and if you want to resell as a must-have. So that's that. And moving on to the next one. So I love this set as a test. I really need to get a new set because this one's well used, and I've been through quite a few bottles. So this helps you identify silver, gold and platinum, and it comes in 9 carat. Let's see, we got 14 carat just there. If you get a whole kit, I'd recommend it. And then we have the silver test. This one I'm not a fan of because I prefer using, if we have it here, the 18 carat, because that helps you test or identify silver easier than using the silver acid. I just prefer the 18 carat. So we have the 9 carat gold, and what happens is that it will show up. You scratch it on the stone here, your item, and if it's gold, it will, and you put a drop of the acid on. If it fades away, you know you haven't got 9 carat gold, and if it doesn't fade away, you know you've got 9 carat gold. And same goes with the we have it 22 karat gold even, which is quite full because I've never come across anything like that yet. And also platinum, which I'm still waiting for my lucky day when I do come across a platinum ring or piece of jewellery. So that's a real beautiful must-have. And personally, a lot of my gold or silver that I do collect, I actually like to trade it in depending on the quality and the value of it and how many grams are in it. So that's a must-have for sure. And then we have the diamond tester pen, and unfortunately my battery is completely flat. Otherwise, this one I demonstrate how to use it. So I need to get one of those square volt batteries for that one to work today, so I can't demonstrate it. But once again, if I put that against my ring, it would go up high on scale on the dial there. And also you can also test gems, but I do still prefer the Presidium in favour of this, because on the Presidium it shows exactly what it is, and this will give you an idea with gems if it goes up higher in mark. But it's a great one for diamonds if you can't afford anything else, and they are super cheap to buy in that as well, versus a Presidium, which is more valuable or more expensive. But I still really love my Presidium, and I use that more than I do use that, and that's probably why it's also gone flat, because I haven't used it in quite a while. And I'm just going to jump back to using acid. Be very, very careful, because I have done it myself. I destroyed a whole nail and got it quite infected and swollen and everything like that by not wearing gloves and getting that acid on me. So please be careful. Do use a glove and to protect yourself, because it's easy to get excited and say, oh, I want to do it now, I haven't got gloves or anything like that. But you do have to be careful, so put gloves on your list. Another great tool is the jewellery scale, and this one is excellent for weighing gold and silver. And as I want to trade my scraps in for money that pays the bills, it's a really, really great tool. So what you do is you put all your jewellery on top on the circle here, and it'll calculate how many grams you have. And then there is a website you can go to. I'll try to put it in description, so I can't remember it off by hand, and it's an easy way to calculate your jewellery times the grams that you do have, and it'll give you basically how much you can get for your gold scrap or silver scrap and that as well. So, and also, like, there's a chart on the website as well, so it goes up from 9 carat, 14 carat, 18 carat, 24 carat, so forth, and same goes with silver. So excellent tool to have if you love to trade in your scrap to pay those bills. Another great tool that I don't use often enough, and I probably should, is this jewellery turntable. That's if you're a seller and you want to display your jewellery. And we'll see if we can put my brooch on here, my uranium brooch, and see if the batteries are working. So I'm not sure if you can see that, because we've got a lot of light illuminating there. If I put it over here, you might see it better. And you can put it on fast speed, also slow speed. Sorry about the glow there. But that's actually going around circles, so that's a good way to get a short video clip for reselling as well. Not highly needed, but if you love to do what I do and resell, it does go a long way. So I was actually going just a little bit faster now. Alright, love my tools. There's only one more that I do want to get after going to the gold shop last week, trading in some jewellery, which paid my soul off, so I was really excited about that. Is the tool that I have, but I think it's worth quite a few $1,000s, and it's this big machine, and then they hold it up, and on the end of it is a magnetic strip to hold your jewellery in place. So I don't know how it works exactly, because jewellery doesn't usually magnetise if it's silver or gold, but anywho, they attach it to the end of it, and they've got a digital front, pretty much like a camera would have, and it will tell you what grade it is and whether it's true gold or not. And it's actually far better than using acid and far less dangerous but it is really, really accurate, and I'd love to get my hands on that one. Maybe I should hint at my family for one, because I'd love to have it. So great tool as well. But yeah, anyway, bit out of my reach at the moment and many people, so enough about that one. And then we have the good old jewellery bus, and I can't get enough of these. And I'm featuring a really beautiful necklace, and it's got real turquoise here. I'm still not sure what these are, but it's a lovely old vintage piece. It's got a spring ring on the back, and this would actually be a good demonstration of putting my turntable back on probably, and seeing if we can get that to work. At the same time, I'll put it on high, and I'll hold it a little bit higher, and it will show you the different angles if I can not lose it. There we go. Absolutely beautiful. Love this piece. So necklace displays, especially if you want to do good photography, and I don't really want to sell this one. It is for sale, but I'm in love with it so much. So I really love to keep it. I don't care if I don't even wear it. It's like absolutely love it. I think it's just gorgeous, the size and all. But just taking that off so you can see the size. So that's a really wonderful tool to have for your displaying your vintage jewellery. Must have. Isn't it gorgeous though? Love it. Love that one. Talking about storage, I started off with these hanging bags, and I'll just stand up so you can see this one a little bit better. So this is how I started. I got about 10 of them, and from eBay I actually got these, but these are also available on Amazon, and they have different pockets. You can see all the different pockets on there. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 nines. 4 nines. What are 4 nines? My math's getting bad. 4 nines. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36. 36 pockets. But if you turn it around, you've got 36 pockets on the other side. So for me, in my case, because I collect vintage brooches, and I fitted 70, 36, 72, is that correct? Oh dear, I'm getting old. I need to go back to school. But yeah, so anyway, I don't even use them anymore, although I probably might have to start using them again because my cupboards are running out. My storage cabinets are running out of room. I'm just like, we've got 4 display cabinets full of vintage jewellery. Most of them are up for grabs and others aren't. And then I've got another mannequin, and it's got my personal collection that I won't part with, that I also wear. So there you have it, some great tools that you need to start collecting vintage jewellery and reselling even more so. And now, because I'm going to be extra nice, I'm going to give you some bonus tips that I recommend, and these ones I personally haven't got yet. So if you are putting your vintage jewellery in boxes and you don't want them to tarnish, you can get anti-tarnishing strips, once again from Amazon, and they will prevent them tarnishing. So it just prevents the oxidation happening in other pieces, or that jewellery or other pieces as well. So that's a good one to have, and I might show you a picture up the top in a minute of what they look like. And if you saw last week's video, if you haven't, jump back to it. Another great one is soft brushes to help you get rid of the dirt and grime in there, but be gentle. So that's super cheap, just a toothbrush, basically a soft one I recommend. What I want to get my hands on is some storage trays, and they come in a lovely size and all divided up in little compartments basically, but open, and so you can see into it, but it's separating each piece so they're not contaminating or not scratching and not getting verdigris on them. So that's a really good way to display as well, and that's on my list to get personally. But once again, I'll shoot a picture up so you can see what they're like. I recommend them. Lastly, I'm going to show you a gemstone ID chart, because who doesn't want to know what gems you have? And if a presidium is out of your reach, this chart will come in very, very handy, or even come in handy even if you do have a presidium or not. If you have loved learning about the tools that you need today in starting your vintage jewellery collecting journey, please stay tuned for next week's video. so you too can get beautiful vintage goodness like this, and this beautiful uranium one, and this beauty, and we can't forget this absolutely gorgeous beauty either, can we? So next week I'm going to share with you how to collect vintage jewellery and the top tips of how to do so, the secrets that professional or serious vintage jewellery collectors know that you don't know. So stay tuned next week and we'll see you then. Bye!